Did you know that the Pigmen were supposed to be the villagers of the world? The developers had the intention of making them as townspeople. But that actually never really happened, and the Pigmen ended up in the Nether as a zombified versions of themselves. But for my world, I actually decided to run with this idea. That's why I've been using the Pigmen skin for my playthrough of Minecraft Alpha version. And I've been building a small town right here in the south part of my world. This is the same world that I was playing before, that I started in the InfDev version, and I just moved a little further out to start developing this new land. But before we get started, hello and welcome. And let me show you something on this fishing boat. Fishing rods were just introduced, and right now they have no use. You can't fish anything yet. But the funny thing is that they stack, probably up to 64. So I'm gonna leave this here. Maybe they will stay like this as I upgrade to newer versions, so we'll find out. I just thought that was funny. Another new addition to the alpha version were boats. And this makes traveling so much easier. So I thought that it would be best to have our town near the ocean. As you get to the docks, I like to showcase a few blocks here at the entrance. Maybe this is just to show that we're exploring other places in the world, and we're always bringing new materials or new blocks here. Clay was recently introduced as well, and I've been trying to collect a couple of those. That's why we got the bricks here. On this side, there's a chest here. Maybe we're exporting some tools to our mining area. That's why we got those items here, but they still have to be assembled. So going up the stairs, you have to go through customs before you get inside Porkopolis. That's the name of our town. So there are a few items that are forbidden. Pork meat is one of them, for obvious reasons. Duplicated doors also. So in the InfDev version, there was a glitch in which you could duplicate them. And there was a gang behind all of the duplication. So we don't want any fake doors here. And lastly is just TNTs, of course. We don't want any accidents. Once you go through customs, you are inside Porkopolis. In the customs building, all I have so far is just some confiscated items. The rest is pretty empty. Before you actually get into town, here to the left, we got a space for an inn that I'm going to be building soon. And I thought this would be a good location for it. It's near the dock, so travelers can spend the night here if they, arrive late. And this is the warehouse, also near the docks, because I think it makes sense. In the warehouse, this is where I keep all of the materials that I use to build. All of the stuff that I have plenty of, like sand, gravel, And also we got, gunpowder, wool, feather, so on. Slimes were introduced recently in the game as well, so I just got a bunch of those slime balls. They spawn underground in huge amounts, so it's crazy how much you can get in this version. Alright, that's the warehouse. Now I'll show you a top-down view of the city, because I'm not going to be expanding the city much more than what you see. But basically what we have is a park in the center, and all of the other buildings just on the roads outside. And, you know, got some trees, some flowers, and a small cave here, which has a very interesting feature inside. This is a spawner. So in the InfDev version, spawners are actually mineable. You can actually just collect this block here. And I did acquire a couple of them when I was in InfDev. Now, once you place these blocks back in the world, they turn into pig spawners. So this is a hidden place where pigs spawn, and they kind of populate this park here. Pigs are protected in this town, so yeah, we should never harm them. So on this side of the town, we have two service buildings: the weapon and armor smith and the toolsmith. Obviously these are just for show, but this is where we store the iron armors, bow and arrow, and some raw material as well. I put a arrow practice here in the back so you can practice your arrow skills, or bow and arrow I should say. And the toolsmith house, quite similar. We got like a working area in the front. The difference is that this one actually has a little house in the back where the toolsmith can live. Got a kitchen with some food, a nice chair, and a bed here. Alright, let's go to the other side of the park now. And here on the side we have 3 shops. So first one is a bakery. There are only 2 types of food in this version. It's either pork meat or bread. So it's no surprise that we only eat bread here. So we got a bakery. And we got some nice chairs, painting. This is the only time that I used the brick blocks. And then this is where you order your bread, and you can just grab it here. Here in the back we have the kitchen where they make the bread, or you know, you don't really use the furnace, but that's for sure. And a sink. All of these buildings here, they have a back door. So this is the bakery. You can actually see the chimney in the top there. The second shop here on this road is the leather shop. Now I use leather quite often. I only use iron when I'm like out exploring or doing something dangerous. So in the leather shop I keep some of these leather armors here just ready for me to just grab them and use them. And we got some imported products as well. the saddles, since we can't make them, let's pretend we bring them from somewhere else. And then in the back room we keep some more materials, furnace and a sink. Still not safe to go back here. This is the leather shop. Here on the side we have a couple of apartments on the second floor. No one's living here yet, but we got, you know, your single size bed. So some pigs can live here eventually. So the third shop is a redstone store. Redstone was also introduced in the alpha version, and for the first time you could actually start to automate some actions and create some mechanisms in the game. So I figured that there should be a store selling these types of materials so the inhabitants can maybe build their own contraptions. So there are a few uses for redstone in this version, but I think the most important and the actual reason why I wanted to build this was for the things that are not actually in the game. So the kind of things that we use our imagination, right? So for example, this store here sells televisions as well. So they come in 3 sizes. And I like to use obsidian as the box in which you get your signal. Maybe it has some properties that allows you to send a signal or something. I don't know. And then we sell other things here. Some redstone related items or even some parts that you can make your own TV if you want. But they also sell other things. So every time you see like a redstone torch on top of a like crafting table, a furnace for example, I use this to indicate that this is maybe like an upgraded version of the crafting table or the furnace, like your 2.0 crafting table. Maybe it's hooked to the redstone system or whatever. So that's just to show like that in alpha the civilization has advanced quite a lot compared to InfDev. And this is a showroom for how the door works. I figure people will be interested to test these themselves. This is supposed to be like a bigger store, so we actually have a bigger back room here. So for the staff, they have their own toilet with a sink, always wash your hands. And there's also a basement where we have a break room for them to watch some TV, get a snack, you know, and just rest a little bit. And this is what I was saying before, the back room, the back here is where like, it's kind of like the alley where the keep some trash cans and stuff. This is all stuff that I don't use anymore, so yeah. All right, it's daytime. Let's continue. Let's check out the silo. There's not much to here on the side, but this is where we grow all of the food that we need to feed the people in town. So we've got a big wheat field, and there's the water coming down from the mountain that is watering all of this field. And we got the sugarcane, or in this version it's called reeds, but you still use it to make paper. We keep all of the seeds and all of the plant items in the game, like cactus, wheat, and so on. Let's get back in town. Let me show you the main building, the public library. This is the first thing I built here. And I used the Nether portal as for the design of the entrance. You know, piglins and the Nether are kind of connected, so I thought it would be a fun thing to draw in the front. Bookshelves were introduced in the alpha version as well, so I wanted to make something that I could use the bookshelves. These signs, they represent a book that I'm actually writing. We don't have the book and quill in the game yet, so I've been writing this in just like a Google Doc, but eventually I'm going to be transferring that book into the game, and then we're going to add those books here. This is how I'm creating the lore as I play. On this side, we have a few more bookshelves, some paintings, and we got a toilet here too. Here in the back, you can get a book if you want and read here outside. On the second floor, I really liked the skylights here. It makes it a lot more bright. So here we have like a small garden and some more bookshelves. This is my design for a desk if you wanna pull up a chair and write something. Few paintings spread around. And on this side, since we don't have coffee in the game, we do have milk. So I thought it'd be fun to make a milk shop. You order here and you pick up here. Sometimes when it's nighttime and I don't want to be out with all of the dangerous mobs, I come out here and I leave the game running to skip the night since we don't have beds. And I use the time to write some of the books that I mentioned. Also we got, oh yeah, I gotta fill these up, but yeah, this is where we keep the milk. Got a sink and more of the powered furnace and crafting table. Yeah, this is the library, but we got another room here in the basement. This is where we welcome new citizens. I'll show you what I mean. Two more books here that I'm writing. So if we go down here through this cave, we're gonna arrive here at the park where the spawner is. So according to the lore here that I created, this Pigmen here, he's the first one of his kind, and he showed up from another spawner that I have in the Infdev lands. But instead of being a pig, he was actually a Pigman, like a mutation. So that's why I put a pig spawner here. And he's hoping that more pigmen like him will eventually spawn. And if that happens, he won't be able to come out through here. He's gonna have to come down here. And if they are smart enough, they should be able to open this door and meet us on this side. Yeah, and then they should take a seat and wait because someone will be helping them. So we got a big table here so we can explain to them how the city works and maybe assign them a name, or they can choose their name if they want. We got a small closet here, got some clothes for them, some gold so they can buy some things here in the city. This is all I have finished. I got a few things that are in progress. So this part of the park, this is the stuff that I'm still expanding. So this is the MCA headquarters. So MCA is actually a software. It's called MCA Selector. This is a software that you can edit your world. Now, I use this mainly so I can get a top-down view from my world, and I can draw my own maps. This is what I've been doing. Since there are no maps in this version, I'm just creating my own maps from using the MCA selector. Now, because I use this so much, so I thought it would be fun to add this to the world. So maybe this is the headquarters. This is where they come in to get the top-down view from the world. Somehow they do that. I don't know how. But yeah. At least I got something else to add to my town. Here we're gonna have 3 buildings, or I should say it's gonna be one big long building with 3 shops. I'm not sure what this one's going to be, but this one is going to be a record store. So music discs were also introduced recently. So I'm going to make a record store here. And also a bank. So we're going to be using gold as currency because it's rare enough that we can use as currency, and it's quite useless. So this could be a good item for gold, for money. I'm going to be putting all my diamonds as well. Obsidian is quite a difficult block to find, so we're going to put this in the bank. And strangely, eggs are very rare, so I'm going to put those in the bank as well eventually. And we got another empty area here, and I'm not sure what to do here. So any suggestions, yeah, leave them in the comments. I'll be happy to to use some of your suggestions. The last thing I have here to show in town is actually underground. Because we got a working sewer system. Or, I mean, it's not working yet, but it will be working eventually. So this is the sewer lines. All of the toilets and sinks that you saw are actually connected, and they all gonna be dumping the water here. And eventually this will be filled with water and it will all be dumped out in the ocean. I like having like an underground area in your town. Kind of like mysterious in a way. And we're back out here. But yeah, that's basically all I had to show. At least in this part of the world. I mentioned before that this is an older world. I started this in InfDev, so there's lots more to see. But maybe in the next video I make, we could explore those places a little bit. I'd make another one soon. But instead of just showing, I could maybe build something, and we can probably get this town finished because I'm ready to move to newer projects. Yeah, that's all I have for today. If you got to the end, thank you so much. Hope you enjoyed, and any suggestions, yeah, leave in the comment. I'll like to read them, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Thank you.